Hi, this is Rosen. Today, I wanted to give you a more casual update and show you the kinds of everyday mundane things that I do as a game dev. Recently, our artist sent over some new sprites for our main character Pollux, and I wanted you to see how those get implemented. The sprite sheets are in the form of PNG files, and the first thing I need to do is make sure they're formatted correctly. First, I'll set the sprite mode to multiple, which will allow me to chop the sheet in the editor. Once in the editor, I'm going to cut the sheet by cell size. Our game uses a standard of 540 by 540 pixels, so that's the number I'll use. I'll also set the anchor of the sprites to the bottom center. Finally, I'll hit apply and chop the sheet. For some reason, this gets my computer really heated and takes a minute. Before I can move on, I'll need to do this 23 more times. Alright, now that the chopping is done, you can see the new sprite standing next to the old one, but he still has all of his old animations. Next thing we'll need to do is assign the correct animations to each animation state on his animator. Here, you can see me making a critical mistake. Because this game object is a copy of a previous one, it shares the same animator as the copied object. I almost start changing the animations, which would affect the animations on the old object as well. Always be careful that you're looking at the correct animator, especially if the animations on them are similar. Now you can see the animator state machine. The animation states are connected to the player movement script, and transitions are set up to bools and triggers that change with the player's input. What I'm doing now is connecting each animation state with the correct animation for Pollux. While the names of the states need to stay in the same order to communicate with the script, the actual animations they reference need to vary from character to character. I've already made and labeled the animations by copying them from a previous character. After everything is connected, I'll need to create the animations using the new sprites. Finally, I'll need to make the animations themselves. It's as easy as selecting the animation on the object and then dragging and dropping the pieces of the sprite sheet. It's just a series of images creating an animation like a flipbook. Our artist labels each sprite sheet with the correct frames per second for the animation. I'll need to do this for every animation. Normally, in a sprite-based game, the sprites would simply be mirrored, but because we use 3D models that are later converted into sprite sheets, our sprites are actually different depending on whether they're facing left or right. This doubles the amount of animations we need to import, but it adds a bit more realism to our stylized world. Now that all the animations are rigged up, let's see if everything works with the player controller. If all goes well, animation should trigger according to how the player is moving. Well, for once, it looks like everything actually worked out on the first try. There are lots of other little things that connect to this simple process, like the ability to switch animators depending on what character the player wants present. But this is pretty much how animation works on the most basic level. For today, I don't really have anything else to show you, so I'll see you all next time.